announced in the last hour. It's on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. First Ebola patient diagnosed in the U.S. has died. AP Dallas. The first Ebola patient diagnosed in the United States died today, this morning at Dallas Hospital, according to a hospital spokesman. Thomas Eric Duncan was pronounced dead at 7:51 a.m. at Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas, where he was admitted September 28th and has been kept in isolation, according to spokesman Wendell Watson. Yeah, shouldn't have been in a regular hospital. Should have been in a level 4 government BioShield weapon lab. That's, by the way, federal law. They just ignore it as part of destroying the law. Duncan carried the deadly virus with him from Liberia, though he showed no signs when he left for the United States. That's been proven to be bull. Love the whitewash here. He arrived in Dallas September 20th and fell sick a few days later. Yeah. His condition was downgraded during the weekend from serious to critical. Others in Dallas are still being monitored as health officials try to contain the virus that has ravaged West Africa, with more than 3,400 people reported dead. They also are trying to tap down anxiety among residents frightened of contracting Ebola, though the disease can be spread only through direct contact with the body fluids of an already sick person. Well, that's not guaranteed to be true. Health officials have identified 10 people, including 7 health workers, who had direct contact with Duncan while he was contagious. Another 38 people have also had to come in contact with him. The family is quarantined after days, but another 30-plus people are just being monitored. No, they should be locked up. Remember, I'm Mr. Anti-lock people up, but the only time you can lock people up is when they've been around somebody with something that kills 90+% of people that come in contact with it. You get it 90+% of the time, you're dead. Even with all the modern stuff, they're saying it's 60-70%, upgraded from 50-something% they were saying would die. I mean, this guy died. And it's a horrible death with blood spewing out of every orifice. I'm not going to go into details. You know about it. But it's not pretty. And I'm right down the road from this with all these Dallasites and people just pouring into Austin for the big rock concerts. They've had 2 weeks in a row. Last weekend, this weekend, ACL. Hip-hop, all of it. Huge music festival. And all these international flights coming in. And it's just ridiculous. They say keep your kids home if they're sick with a cold. But then they sent this guy's kids to school at first. I mean, this is ridiculous. And then said parents were wrong to be pulling their kids out of the school. Oh, let me tell you. The way kids spread stuff in the school system, if I lived in Dallas and had my kids in public school and there was one case with somebody's kids going to the school, I would take them out of school, period, in the whole school system. They shut down whole cities in Liberia and Sierra Leone and other areas trying to stop the spread of it. Here they go, oh, just fly in. Oh, just come across the border. By the way, you know what else is in the news? U.S. Representative Duncan Hunter said 10 ISIS fighters caught by U.S. Border Patrol. That's coming up. By the way, that means Al-Qaeda. And here's Bloomberg. Kurdish protesters royal Turkey. Yeah, they're burning stuff down as jihadists fight. And the Kurds are in the news. Kurds blame Turkey for not stopping ISIS. They go on to say that they're really Al-Qaeda and that Turkey is funding the group that has been slaughtering them. See, the Kurds live over there. They're being murdered by Al-Qaeda, calling itself IS, ISIS, ISIL, to confuse people. And so their response is riot inside Turkey and burn stuff down. And the jihadis are battling them. I mean, the Kurds haven't attacked anybody in hundreds of years. They want to be left alone. They're a minority group of Muslims, and they know what's going on. They don't know who Britney Spears is, I'll bet you money, but they do know who ISIS is. Just like the Pentagon does. Just like the Pentagon's gone to Obama and said, stop it. And the British Ministry of Defense has gone to Cameron and said, stop it. And I'm not even lionizing the military, but when they do the right thing, they do the right thing. Our whole political system, Congressman Jones was on last week, or I guess Monday. And they all know the Saudis are behind 9/11 and our government stood down, and they're saying release it. You see, this stuff's all real. And now Obama has let Al-Qaeda into the country. And when they attack us, Obama will take more of our liberties and grandstand, and no one will point out that they let them in. Geraldo Rivera will call us racist for saying the border shouldn't be wide open and that Ebola could come into the U.S. Of course, it did come in. Someone's died now.
You've forgotten to monitor blockitpocket.com, haven't you? Oh, how quickly we forget. Blockit Pocket wants you to know that they never forget. You have a right to use wireless technology, privately and safely. So go now and monitor blockitpocket.com's complete line of custom-designed and American-made products. Blockitpocket.com. Enhance your health and privacy in a wireless world. It's here, only at blockitpocket.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
DNA Force. When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. DNA Force. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. DNA Force. We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO, organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
Your house is dark, vacant. You must be gone on vacation for a while. Thanks for all the jewelry.
Don't be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone is inside watching TV and makes your home unappealing to would-be thieves.
Don't these people ever leave?
Starting at $24.95, and there's free shipping. Go to faketv.com or ask for it at your local hardware store. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Newsflash. Home invasions are on the rise. It takes less than 10 seconds to kick in a door. 10 seconds is not enough time to protect your family. And what would happen if you're not home? Easy Armor is the ultimate security solution. 85% of break-ins are through a door. Protect your home now with Easy Armor. Go to InvasionStopper.com to get real security for under $70. That's InvasionStopper.com. Easy Armor. Your security is our only business.
Americans, prepare for financial ruin. That is what one of the world's richest men, Donald Trump, said just a few weeks ago. What are you doing to prepare? The problems that caused the last financial crisis were never fixed. In fact, they're even worse now. The total amount of debt in the U.S. has grown by more than 57% since September 2008. The too big to fail banks are much larger, and the massive derivatives bubble is spiraling so far out of control that the only thing left to do is watch the spectacular crash landing that is inevitably coming. If you're a baby boomer with retirement funds, it's time you consider exiting the Wall Street casino and start a cash-flowing international business of your own. There may be ways to preserve your wealth, but history has shown that few things can grow your wealth like having your own business. The crash is coming. Take measures now to soften the landing. Go to babyboomerbackupPlan.com or call 888-507-8789. That's babyboomerbackupPlan.com.
News, then I'll get into the economic news and a lot more in the next segment and open the phones up. Again, if you just joined us, I'm Alex Jones, your host. Infowars.com is the main site. PrisonPlanet.com is the backup. It has a lot of original news on it as well. The subscription Infowars Nightly News site is PrisonPlanet.tv. First Ebola patient diagnosed in the U.S. has died. Thomas Eric Duncan died at 7:51 a.m. from the virus Ebola. Wall Street Journal, Spain struggles to address concern over Ebola case. Just do what our media does and just say it's not bad for you and it's no big deal. Do what the CDC does. Just come out and say that there is absolutely no problem. Meanwhile, she got it from an Ebola patient they brought into the country. Again, bring people into the country and don't put them in a level 4 bioweapons lab, you are a total criminal. Bring them in, you're a criminal. You bring them in and don't put them in a top facility by themselves or with other Ebola patients, you are now culpable. Big time. And I told everybody, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I've had virologists on, the default protocol is don't bring them in the country, keep them on ships or in country where they have it. The default is don't send 3,000 and then 2,000 more, 5,000 U.S. troops into 3 different African countries that are collapsing. Just default, don't do that. Default, don't not scrub the ambulance and the house day 1, and default, quarantine the whole family and everybody they came in contact with, and quarantine everybody who flew in on the plane with them. Didn't happen. None of it happened. Because the feds, folks, when TB is drug resistant and they catch somebody flying, they have a database, they arrest them at the airport almost every time. They have a database. They actually do a pretty good job. Let me explain that to you. They want this spreading, period, like I said a month and a half ago, like I said a month ago, a week ago, and Monday. Think about it. Think about it. Let it sink in. I know you know, I know, but that's how evil the people are that have hijacked our government. And hijacked is key. This is not our government. If somebody hijacks a plane and puts on the pilot outfit, which a lot of hijackers do because people start following their orders when they put on the captain's outfit, that's not the captain, folks. You don't open the borders up and say, everything's free, come to America. If you're the president, you're an enemy of the republic, period. That's not rhetoric. Those words don't even begin to get near the severity. I don't have words. Shakespeare wouldn't have words to describe the spirit of destruction, the spirit of anti-freedom, the will to wreck this country, and only let select interest operate in it. So Spain struggles to address concern over Ebola case. Oh, really? European Union asked Spain for more information on how a health worker contracted disease. Well, they brought in other health workers out of West Africa that had it, and that's how she got it. And they're now saying she touched her face. Document, Spanish woman touched face with Ebola glove. Let me give you the news flash. It's mutated over 300 times. Used to mutate a couple times a year. Now it's mutating 300 times in the last year. That's CDC's own numbers. And it's clearly incubates from not 3 days, but 21 at least. And it's clearly spreading faster. And most virologists, we said this 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago, from the New York Times 3 weeks ago, that they believe it is somewhat, I'm going to say it again, weak but airborne. Weak but airborne. And they had the discoverer of Ebola come out yesterday and say they believe it's going to go airborne. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen if it goes airborne. If they leave the border open or they let it spread, they're 100% responsible. And I want everybody to know, remember who did it. And let me tell you, what are they planning? They think they can get away with this. What are the people running Homeland Security and the Centers for Disease Control and the National Security Council? That's what really runs the country, the COG, that's over Northcom, the Continuity of Government Board. What are they doing? They're doing this in front of everyone. They're funding Al-Qaeda in front of everyone. They're opening the borders in front of everyone. They're turning the power plants off in front of everyone. They're doing policies that will destroy the dollar in front of everyone. They're starting wars with Russia for no reason in front of everyone. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? These people are out of control. So they've shipped more than 25 people into the U.S. that have Ebola, and they've shipped a couple into Spain. It's already spread there. Connecticut Health Commissioner granted quarantine power, AP. Yeah, see, they're going to use this to lock whoever they want once it spreads. Let the crisis get out of control. Coast Guard sector issues new steps on Ebola virus, AP. I guarantee you they did that because it's default. Obama will probably order a stand down. I predict that, a quiet stand down. CDC airborne Ebola, possible but unlikely. We'll be right back.